Detroit roaring back, just like that, and they get the win after getting absolutely embarrassed against the Ravens last week, and so they get the victory 26-14, which means if you bet the Lions and laid the points, you won the bet, but it wasn't easy. The Lions improved to 6-2. They've won their last 4 primetime games. I'm old enough to remember when people would say, why do we put the Lions on Thanksgiving every year? I know that's not a primetime game, but it's considered, it's an island game, so it's a showcase game. So the Lions are 6-2. The Raiders, the better story in the losing locker room, the Raiders are 3-5, and it's so bad for the Raiders. How bad is it? It's so bad for the Raiders. My friends who wear the Raider logo with pride because they have machismo, right? It just reeks of testosterone, the Raider logo, and it's so humiliating right now. They're embarrassed. They're embarrassed by what the Raiders are doing. So why don't we start with that? Now, there was one moment that stood out that we are going to discuss here at the beginning of this Maller monologue. A frustrated Davante Adams spotted taking his helmet and throwing it down on the sideline. He was angry. He was having none of this there, slamming the helmet down in the fourth quarter as the silver and black go down to defeat. So let us discuss the question. What is the temperature in the Raider locker room around Davante Adams' locker? What is the temperature? I'm curious. What do you think it is? All right, so I've got Smokey the Bear, China, and Sephora. And we will combine all of these things together, and we are going to make a trip to the ballet, which is what James Harden will be doing a lot of when he heads out to L.A. But this is a football monologue, and so, again, the question, what's the temperature in the Raider locker room around the locker of Davante Adams? So, number one. Davante Adams has been very open and honest via his actions, not so much his words, but some of them are his words. The temperature right now for Davante Adams is at the boiling point. It is at the boiling point. The body language speaks volumes, but it's not just the body language. Every man, woman, and child who has paid any attention to this storyline knows that a snarky comment here, a well-placed no comment there, a helmet slam in the back, questioning the culture of winning in the front, all of that combined together. And we don't need to, but we can bring in Smokey the Bear. And it was Smokey the Bear when I was a little kid who reminded us that only you can prevent forest fires, and where there's smoke, there's fire. And there is absolutely an inferno going on around Davante Adams right now at this point. Adams, he keeps chirping away at the Raider facility. Now, we actually have some postgame sound from Davante Adams here, and let's listen to the audio. This is the soundbite, I think it is, from Davante Adams here. You'll hear Davante asked about the helmet slap, and let's listen to what Davante had to say.
Honestly, I don't know what to say at this moment. I truly don't. I wish I had the words to say something that's not going to get blown up in the media and taken out of context. So I'm just don't know.
What are you feeling right now? Can you elaborate on anything going through your mind?
Frustration, but I mean that kind of goes without saying.
Davante, I know you said that you have confidence whenever you're out there in offense's ability, but is it kind of hard to maintain that when the results are what they've been?
No, it's not hard to maintain the confidence in our offense. It's just hard to curb your frustration when you can't put it together when you know you should.
So the initial part of that is the money soundbite. I don't want to comment. Then he commented on it. A no comment is as good as a butcher knife to the heart. When you say no comment, you're admitting what I'm going to say is going to resonate around the building and around the NFL, because what I'm going to say is not nice. So instead, I'm not going to say it. So essentially, by not commenting initially, Davante Adams was delivering a body blow to Mr. McDaniels and the Raider coaching staff. That's the only way you can take it. And he's going Shawshank Redemption here. He's chipping away at the side of the Raider facility there, and he's trying to get outside those walls and go somewhere else. And today, it happens to be Halloween, trick or treat. We know Davante Adams would like a trade, is what he wants. Not a trick or a treat. He wants a trade somewhere else. The deadline is at 4 o'clock Eastern time, 1 o'clock in the West. And if you are a team in need of a wide receiver, you better be on the phone right now with the Raiders. Let's make a deal. Let's make a deal. Let's make something happen. Got to trade him, right? The Raiders are years away from even being a competitive team. Did you see that game on Monday night? That is dreck. That is not a professional football team's performance.
They stink.
Yeah. So come hell or high water, whether it happens now or whether it happens after the season, Davante Adams wants off the pirate ship, and he would like to go somewhere else, these treacherous waters with the Raiders. And I get it. He took the money. He got paid, and now he's watching the Raiders sulk away. Sulk away, and it's just brutal. All right, now, page 2 here. You have the embattled head coach, Josh McDaniels. And Josh McDaniels right now, he has a hot tushy. Yes, he's on the hot seat. Although Mark Davis is very cheap, the Raiders owner, a real owner would have fired Josh McDaniels immediately after that game, would have said, thank you very much. We're good. You suck at your job. Get out of here.
You're fired.
The offensive wizard of those Patriot teams. What a joke that is, huh? Vegas in this game against the Lions defense, which has been up and down, 157 yards of offense for the Raiders. That's it. Less than 160 yards of offense, 12 first downs. They went 1 of 9, the Raiders did, on third down. That's a 11% success rate. Only ran 45 offensive plays. I can go on and on. I got all kinds of numbers. I can shove numbers down your throat if you want. And now the catch is leaving the door open to changing things up at quarterback. That's Josh McDaniels leaving the door open. I don't know if we have that soundbite here, but Josh McDaniels after the game was non-committal on Jimmy Garoppolo continuing on as the Raiders starting quarterback. Take a listen to this.
I know you're only 8 games in, you still got 9 left, but at this point in the season, when the offense hasn't taken on, do you have to look at everything? Do you stay the course?
Yeah, we should, Hondo. Honestly, we should. I mean, it's not productive enough. You know, whether it doesn't matter. You pick a winner. You know what I mean? Honestly, we have to be able to produce more points in order to win games in this league. And right now, we're not doing that. And so that's obviously my responsibility. And we'll take a look at everything we're doing, everybody that's doing it, you know, and try to figure out if there's a better way. That's what we can do. There's still 9 games to go, you know, so we have a lot of football left. We have played stretches of good football, but, you know, certainly not consistently enough.
Does that include maybe change that quarterback?
I'm not going to talk about that right now.
No, see, that's a dagger. He said, he didn't give a vote of confidence. Garoppolo, how about this? Garoppolo traded today.
What?
Jimmy Garoppolo to the Vikings. Break it right now. Garoppolo out of Vegas goes to Minnesota. How about Garoppolo for Mac Jones? Send Garoppolo to the Patriots. Who says no? Who says no to that? Wow. All right, so I think you know where this Jimmy Garoppolo story is going at this particular point. We're at the chapter in the book where everyone is finger pointing. Because Josh McDaniels had this glowing reputation as an offensive savant. Can flush that down the toilet. That's gone. Yet again, he was a fraud when he left the Patriots the first time and went to the St. Louis Rams and the Denver Broncos. He was a joke then. Went back to the Patriots. He was boy wonder. Now he leaves the Patriots, and he's a nincompoop. Yet again, a nincompoop. So the thing to do here is if you're thinking of benching Garoppolo, trade him. Trade his ass. Send him to the Vikings. Get a 5th-round draft pick or something. Who cares? Doesn't matter. And get rid of Garoppolo. And right now, Josh McDaniels, whether it's trading Garoppolo to the Patriots or the Vikings or a mystery team, Josh McDaniels, as a head coach in the NFL, is on a slow boat to China at this point. It is terrible, Right? He will be coaching in China if this does not turn around rapidly here for the Raiders. And the jury is in on McDaniels. He is a fake, a phony, and a fraud as an offensive savant. He has one of the top receivers in football on his roster. Check. He had the leading rusher in the NFL last year. Check. He had his hand-picked quarterback, Jimmy Garoppolo. Check. And the Raiders are a bottom 5 offensive team in every measurement. Every single measurement. How's that scheme working out for you, Mr. McDaniels? Now, final point. We go to the winner's locker room. The Honolulu Blue have the Lions, with this victory, now fixed all of their problems. And survey says, no, they have not. They have not done that. Now, I'm shaking my head. No, they have not fixed all their problems. But here, the victory obviously was necessary because you had that terrible performance in Baltimore last week. You get that bad taste, that gingivitis out of your mouth a little bit. But here's the problem. You can't get too worked up because this is what we call a Sephora victory. It's makeup. It's putting makeup all over the situation because Dan Campbell, Motor City Dan, the head coach of the Lions, the Lions have the talent to go very far in the playoffs in the NFC and make a whole lot of noise. But this was not the type of performance where you look at it and say that's a team that's going to go on a run in the postseason and all that because they used the makeup to cover up the fact that they had 5 trips in the red zone, only 1 successful trip to the red zone in terms of pay dirt, getting a touchdown. This game should have been 48-7. And the fact that the Raiders still had the opportunity to win the game in the second half, in the fourth quarter, is an indictment of the Detroit football team. And the Raiders are a JV squad. They're an embarrassment. They're an absolute disgrace, the Raiders. And the Lions coulda, shoulda, woulda, but didn't blow the doors off the Raiders.